Well, morning folks. It's Sunday at the end of the first week of our Irish trip, and today looks like it might rain a little bit later on, but we're planning on going out and finding ourselves a nice beach or something to have a bit of a picnic on. We're going to take the bikes and head the other way, head left out the campsite where we headed right yesterday. So come along with us and we'll see what we can find. There we go. This looks like a good spot for a picnic. Well, we've bought our Nomad's Kitchen portable camping stove with us, and we're going to cook up some salmon, aren't we, Diane?
We are.
Yeah, we bought
The
some.
interesting bit is not getting the Nomad kitchen set up. It's actually trying to get the salmon out of the packet.
Yeah.
But I have got a portable knife with me.
Yeah, you've got your pen knife with you, haven't you? So, yeah, let's get the stove set up and get cooking. We brought the Ridge Monkey with us as well to do this, haven't we?
Yeah, that's down to you.
We're going to put just a little bit of toasted sesame oil in the Ridge Monkey. I'll put the salmon in.
Right, if you give me the packaging, remember you take all your packaging home with you?
Yep.
I've got a bag here to take that. A big cheat would be if you've got like an infused tea bag with you. I would suggest lemon and ginger, and you sprinkle a little bit on there just towards the end of cooking. You've got flavour and you're not having to bring loads of stuff with you.
That's a good idea. Right, let's whack it on there. I'm going to turn the heat down a bit to cook it a bit more slowly.
That's especially important if you're using something like the sesame seed oil, because as I say, it's a very high temperature oil.
Yeah, we like the Nomad's Kitchen, don't we, darling? It's
we do.
Yeah, it's a very easy thing to carry around with you. We just strapped it on the back of the bikes here, and it cooks things up lovely. We did some duck on it way back last year, didn't we, when we were down near Ludlow, and that turned out really nice. So I've got some high hopes for this salmon. Just after a few minutes, it's starting to cook in the old Ridge Monkey.
I have to say the Nomad's kitchen is really good for going on the bikes and just walks and stuff. But I mean, I know Alex uses it out and about on his motorbike. But to be honest, the Ridge Monkey is perfect as well for just putting in there, and it cooks extremely well. So it's a good combination together. It's a nice little kit to take around when you're going on a picnic.
Now, if you'd like a Nomad's Kitchen stove of your own, you can get 10% off this or anything else in the Nomad's Kitchen range by using our discount code at the checkout on the Nomad's Kitchen website. Oh, look at that. That's coming along proper nicely now. In fact, I'd say that's pretty much done, wouldn't you?
I would.
Right, let's serve it up, eh? Well, it does look like it's cooked it lovely. It's a bit stuck together. There we go. Oh, sorry, it's broken up a little bit. Look at that. That is really nicely done, isn't it? Well, there you go. What a lovely looking meal. Right, well, we've had a bit of a roundup and put the rubbish back on the bikes, because you must always take all your rubbish home with you. Don't leave anything on the beach. Nikki was saying even the tea bags.
Even the tea bags, yes. They may say that they're biodegradable, but you get bits of string and stuff like that on them.
Yeah. So,
and it's still just wise, so you're not doing any harm to wildlife, to make sure.
Yeah.
You may see us just for a moment put it on the stone, but I do promise you that I will pick it up, even if I have to put it in my pocket.
Yeah.
But
wet tea bag in your pocket.
Wet tea bag in my pocket.
Yeah.
But
not
I
for the first
will
time.
not leave that on the beach.
No. So anyway, let's have a brew up. Lovely. So there we go. We've left the beach exactly as we found it. Nikki's feeling a little bit tired, so we're going to head back to the van. There is rain forecast. I feel a couple of drops in the air, but might have another ride out this afternoon and see what I can find while Nikki chills out. Well, back at the van now, and Nikki's going to have a bit of a snooze. Just had a bit of a brew and a sit down, but I'm going to go out again on the bike while she does that for a bit more of an explore. Now this is my first point of interest. It's marked on the map as a boulder burial. Now I can't get into it without going into this field, which I think is private land, so I'll not trespass, but yeah, no idea how old it is or where it comes from or why it's here, but yes, it's marked on the map as some sort of antiquity. Well, certainly a steep pull up this hill. Got the old e-bike on full power for this one. Oh. So there is our next standing stone in the field there. You could mistake it just for an ordinary stone, couldn't you? But it is marked on the map as a standing stone, so I guess it is a megalithic monument of some sort, possibly another burial. I guess a lot of these things nobody really knows, do they? I'm not sure if the camera really shows how steep that last hill was to cycle up, but they've put a defibrillator here just in case. Yeah, I think I come close. I will come up here to see these Mass Mount ruins. Now it's effectively a ruined church. I can't find much detailed information about it at all, but let's take a look. Certainly has an ancient feel about the place. Yeah, just imagine the generations of people who would have come to this church and what their lives would have been like when it was in use. Still got the remains of some nice window details here. I imagine this would have been quite a simple rural church, wouldn't it? But still got some nice detail to it. Pretty intact gable end here as well, with some socket holes in it. Maybe a sign of a upper floor or a platform or something built in there. What looks to be a bit of a blocked doorway here, maybe done quite recently perhaps. And not much remains of this end, but what a cracking view. Well, there may not be a huge amount left of it, but I definitely enjoyed my visit. One other thing I've noticed is look at the width of this boundary wall and the size of the stones it's made of. I'm guessing that's a really old wall. You wouldn't build one like that now, would you? Look at it compared to the skinny, rough wall the other side. Yeah, imagine the effort and labour involved to build a wall like this compared to a wall like this. Anyhow, let's crack on. I believe there is more to see. Well, here we are. I've come here to have a look at a Neolithic wedge burial chamber, but we can't ride up to it, and I've realised I've left the keys to my bike lock back at the van, so I think we're going to have to chance it, aren't we? It's about half a kilometre up this path. Oh, it's a bit of a pull up here. Been lucky so far though in that the rain's held off. Well, here it is. I'll tell you, that was a stiff old 500 metres from the road. I can certainly feel I've climbed a bit. And here we are. Imagine, sometime in prehistory, I guess no one really knows exactly when, the body of someone important enough that people would drag these stones up here and somehow get them on top of each other to make this chamber was buried here. I don't know if it's ever been excavated. To say, can't find much information about these places. But yeah, certainly a good spot with a commanding view. A good place to spend the afterlife, perhaps. Yeah, what a lovely place. I'm assuming this would have all been buried under an earth mound once the chieftain, whoever it was sort of interred inside. But I guess that's all worn away, or maybe not, I don't know. Drop me a comment, let me know if you do know any different. I mean, I said it before when we were at that old church, but just imagine the hands that would have touched this rock and worked it into position all those years ago. What the lives of those folk would be like. Very different to today, I guess. Anyhow, talking of today, I'm quite conscious that my electric bike is down there completely unsecured. So yeah, I think I'm going to head back now and make sure it's okay. Well, great stuff. My bike is exactly where I left it. I thought it probably would be. I bet there's not been another soul come past here. Well, I've got one more ancient site I do want to visit on this ride, but it's mostly riding back exactly the way we come. So I'll catch up with you next when I arrive there at what I think will be two nice standing stones. And yes, here we are. Look at this. Two absolutely magnificent standing stones. And what a view you've got across the sea there from them. Who knows who put them up and why, but it was definitely a very long time ago. I mean, it's lovely to visit a big stately home and have a cream tea in the cafe and buy a key ring from the gift shop, but it's sites like these which really, I think, you can feel the weight of history in, and free to visit, of course. I definitely recommend coming up here to see these if you are in the area. Anyhow, the clouds are gathering and I can just start to feel the first spits of rain. I think I might have pushed my luck far enough with the weather, so I'm going to hightail it back to the campsite. Well, back at the tent, and yes, indeed, it has very much started raining. In fact, it is chucking it down. Well, that's about it for our stay at Hungry Hill Campsite. We had a lovely burger last night from the burger van here on site, and we're just packing away, and our next stop is at Blarney, so join us next time as we explore around the area of Blarney and Cork.